The most interesting thing is Google has just made SEO a positioning game again. So if we look at what Lily Ray here said, so she says, Google just put out its first official article on optimizing for AI search, AEO, GEO. The TLDR, too long didn't read, is SEO still the foundation for AI search. Wow, right? That's like, that's kind of a joke a little bit, but create non-commodity people first content, right? Ignore most GEO, AEO hacks like chunking and LLMs.txt. So the first two here, when I say it's a joke, I'm not talking about Lily Ray here. I'm just saying that these things SEOs have known for a very long time, that these SEO and AEO, GEO, they kind of go hand in hand. And when you're talking about creating non-commodity people first content, that's ever since the very first day I started learning SEO, it's been like that. And then all these other hacks over here, they don't matter that much. At least that's what Google is saying, right? With these LLMs.txt and chunking. That's the first piece. You have any reactions to this one before I move to the next one?
Yeah, and when Lily Ray's posting this, she's not saying this is how you win in this new AEO or GEO world. She's just summarizing what Google puts out, right? So Google will tell you what they want, their narrative. It doesn't mean that they're going to tell you everything. It also doesn't mean that they're hiding anything either. I do believe SEO is still the foundation. There are some nuances and some differences, but it still is the foundation. And you have to create amazing content that people haven't seen before that they want to engage with. And I think if you do that, it'll start doing really well in the LLMs as well. People really struggle with number two. I don't think too many people have an issue with the fundamentals of SEO because it's been around for a long time, but they do struggle on the content side because content marketing has been around for so long. It's more and more competitive, and there's already a lot of information on the web. So you have an issue of regurgitation, and people are tired of the same stuff over and over again.
Cool. And so, by the way, Tim Solo shared this, and this happened June 2nd. He got 1 million views on this. So in the last 6 months, Ahrefs, we analyzed over 1 billion data points across 14 studies. And here's what we learned about AI search optimization. Number one, best X best X blog listicles are the single most prominent content format cited by AI chatbots. They make up 44% of all pages cited by ChatGPT specifically. Number two, 67% of ChatGPT's top 1,000 citations come from sources marketers can't influence. Number one is Wikipedia, 30%, homepages, 24%, app stores, 6.6%. Only 32% are influenceable content like educational pages, reviews, news, and blog posts. I'm going to read one more here, and then we can talk about this.
Read them all. Read them all.
Yeah, there's like 10 here. Okay, I'm going to read 3. You can read the rest. 3, 28.3% of ChatGPT's most cited pages have zero Google organic visibility. These pages get cited repeatedly by ChatGPT despite not ranking in Google at all. A completely separate discovery layer. Okay, that's interesting. Number 4, ChatGPT only cites about 50% of the URLs it retrieves. It fetches dozens of pages per query, but uses half as background context without attribution. This means that being retrieved and being cited are very different things. Number 5, before I turn it over to Neil to read the next 5. Number 5, adding schema markup had zero meaningful impact on AI citations. AI overviews actually dipped 4.6%, while AI mode 2.4% and ChatGPT 2.2% showed changes indistinguishable from zero. Okay, let's get the next.
Number 6, YouTube mentions have the highest correlation, 0.737, with AI branded visibility out of all the factors we studied, including all the conventional SEO metrics like backlinks, page count, domain rating, etc. This held true for both Google-owned and OpenAI products. Number 7, AI overviews reduce clicks to the number one result by 58%. That's up from 34.5% just 10 months earlier. This trend is accelerated. Number 8, 99% of AI overviews appear on informational intent queries. Transactional, navigational, and local searches are almost entirely AI overview free. Shopping triggers AI overviews just 3.2% of the time. Number 9, for a given search query, Google's AI mode and AI overviews reach the same conclusions 86% of the time, but cite almost entirely different sources. Only 13.7 citation overlap, or 13.7% citation overlap. Number 10, AI overviews change every 2.15 days on average, with 70% of the content differing between consecutive observations, but semantic similarity stays at 0.95. The words, the sources, the entities constantly shuffle, but the actual meaning barely moves.
By the way, for number 8, it's 99.9%. So basically 100% of AI overviews appear on informational intent queries. I think this is good data, by the way. This is really good. So where do we want to start first? I think this was a surprise to me. Number 5, adding schema markup had zero meaningful impact on AI citation. So all the stuff like AEOs, SEOs like to talk about, that was a little surprising to me.
Well, here's clarification here, Eric. He's talking specifically about AI citations. He's not saying it doesn't impact them pulling your content. This is just
Ah,
citing,
so that's why it was surprising me. I didn't read it right.
right?
Okay.
But we're all optimizing for citations. We're not optimizing for them pulling from you and not citing you.
Yep. Number 6, YouTube mentions had the highest correlation with AI brand visibility out of all the factors we included. So, I mean, it depends. I mean, with Google-owned products, and it's also true for OpenAI products. And I think we revealed this in the last HubSpot that we talked about. I think we pointed out the graph where it's like the top 3 sources are um, they're interchangeable, like the rankings shift, but Reddit, YouTube, and Wikipedia. So that makes a lot of sense. What else is interesting to you here?
So number 8 is interesting for me because I think it's going to change. So this Eric and I know in which AI overviews really only appear on informational intent queries. It's the number one area where they appear. You don't really see them much on transactional, navigational, and local searches, which we've seen. But here's the kicker. Tim mentions shopping triggers AI overviews just 3.2% of the time. I'm not saying AI overviews are going to appear more for shopping related queries. I do believe shopping is going to change because of how Google released their new search features with agents. Eric, if you want to open up a new tab and we can show people on the screen here on what we're talking about,
Which tab? What do you
just
want me to
open up a
open?
new tab. From the Google I/O Marketing Live, in which they talked about the new search tab and shopping features. Did you see the
Yep.
article? And they used a dress as an example. Find me this dress, but in this color. And they uploaded 2 images, and then the agent just goes out and finds it.
Find me a blue dress for a wedding. You mean like dragging something in, but it's
Well, you
okay. We'll
click
just
go back really quickly.
uh-huh.
Okay. So there's a plus button that's being highlighted, right? You saw the Google colors right there. You can actually upload images. So you can upload 2 images. You would upload the first image. Eric's using a blue dress as an example. So you would upload the dress you're looking for, like the style. The second image that you could upload is maybe the color of the fabric. And you can say, find me a dress that looks like this, but in the color red. Or you can upload a picture of the specific fabric you want, and Google will just go and find it. And you're seeing it right here on the screen. So Eric uploaded an image of a blue dress, and it's showing you all the places with a similar style that sell that dress.
Oh, that's pretty cool. You want me to buy you a dress?
I think I'm good on the dress end, but appreciate the offer. Well, what's cool with
Anyway,
this is how I think shopping is going to be affected, not necessarily by AI overviews, but the 10 blue links and even the shopping category is going to be really effective by people just typing in exactly what they want. Not only can you describe it now in words, you can upload multiple images, not just one. You can say, I like this dress style in this color, but I want it this dress length. So 3 different images. One image with dress length, one image on the color, one image on the style, and it will go scour the web and find you all the ones for sale that might be right for you. And you can even tell it the size you want and the price range, and it'll go figure it all out for you. That's
this
going
is
to
great.
change shopping.
It happened very quickly too, so that's awesome.
Few
Cool.
seconds. It didn't take long at all. It was quick.
Yeah, I think so. By the way, I mean, I just want to call out the fact that this post, because I think Tim does well on X, but I think this is one of his better ones. When you're super data dense like this, and you have a couple of interesting points here, this is very shareable. You got 7,000 bookmarks on it. I just retweeted it myself, 1 million views on it. I think that's great. So
Yes.
Quick break. Look, I know what you're thinking. Another AI content tool, great, more garbage content on the internet. And I thought the same thing. That's why we spent years building ClickFlow differently. Here's actual feedback from a user. It's sophisticated, grounded in real language, authoritative, but not academic. You've hit the sweet spot. That's not AI slop, that's content that you would actually publish. ClickFlow also helps with things such as internal linking, building FAQs, and reporting on the content performance. If you're skeptical, you can just go to clickflow.com and try it for free for 14 days. And if it sucks, just cancel. But I don't think you will. Back to the show.
cool. All right, let's move to the next topic here. So, Neil, let's just talk about every time you travel or I travel, we should talk about what we're doing. So, what are you doing in Jakarta right now? What are the lessons from this week? What are the conversations that are happening right now? Tell us, fill us in.
Sure. So few things. I left on Sunday. No, Monday. Yeah, I think I left on Monday. Left on Monday from London or LA to London. Landed in London Tuesday night. Spoke at South by Southwest Wednesday. Wednesday night, I flew from London to Jakarta. I had to go through Dubai, so it was a little bit of a long flight because there's not a
Cool.
flight. But Emirates is nice. And it was really cheap. Dude, how much do you think my round trip from London, going through Dubai to Jakarta, first class, and going first class from Jakarta to Dubai to Rio was in cost? The Dubai to Rio, Jakarta to Dubai, I think is around 8 hours. Dubai to Rio is 15. So I got both those legs, Dubai, Rio. Jakarta to Rio and London to Jakarta. Right? How much
I'm
do you
gonna say the way you're saying it right now, because it's a Emirates first class as well, or you had pretty good first class. I want to say $7,000.
close? $8,000.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
don't think
deal. So
I don't. Yeah, you're talking about normally a plane ticket that would have been 20 to
25, 30 grand.
100,000. Exactly.
Yep, yep.
And
So that's a good deal.
it's a good deal. And sadly, I think it's because of war and not everyone wants to fly through some of these regions.
Nobody wants to go through Dubai right now. You crazy?
Yeah, and I think that's why it was so cheap for a first class ticket. So why am I doing all this traveling? London was South by Southwest. We tend to do it because of more branding for our European agencies. Indonesia, we have an APAC division, but we don't do tons of business in Indonesia. The GDP per capita isn't too high. I'm not trying to talk trash. I'm just telling you the real reality. So we just don't see companies spending as much in marketing. And I haven't actually flown to Indonesia before, but my team's talked about buying an agency in Indonesia multiple times because they're like, oh, it's going to be the next big region in APAC. And agencies have been saying that for a long time. And I was like, you know what? I have the opportunity to go. Let me just go. There's going to be 5,000 people at this conference. So I'll end up seeing what they're doing, seeing some of the companies. I'll meet a lot of the sponsors. I'll get to know the lay of the land. And then from there, I'll head to Rio for Web Summit. Rio for Web Summit is one of our better events of the year that we tend to speak at because when you look at most Web Summit events, they bring in massive crowds and they come from all parts of the world. The Portugal one's really good. The Canada one, it used to be called Collision. They changed it to Web Summit Vancouver. I used to prefer Collision Toronto. It was still owned by them. It was bigger than Web Summit Vancouver, although they're probably working on building it up.
Why aren't you going to Canton?
Cannes is more creative. We do creative stuff like we did stuff with Formula One, WNBA, Trojan Condoms recently. The list goes on the creative campaigns that we do. But just being very transparent in the agency world for anyone who has an agency or is looking to hire one, there's not much money to be made on creative. It's not because of AI either. Even after AI, and before AI, there still wasn't a lot of money to be made on creative. And the reason I say that is creative is in the eye of the beholder. So if Eric hires NP Digital to do his creative, I can say we created something amazing. Eric has his own taste. He could say he dislikes it or likes it and wants another version or tweaks or whatever it may be. And because of that, because it's in the eye of the beholder, and when you work with large organizations that have tons of people who are meddling and getting involved in the creatives, the margins just suck. And it's not just us. Most creative agencies don't have great margins, but you have to offer creative solutions to get the rest of the contract, which is why we acquired a creative agency years ago. But the reason we're not at Cannes is it's a low margin, side of the business for us. And most of the people who are at Cannes are going there to party and have fun. So you tend not to pick up a ton of business from what we've seen.
Exactly. So I was at an event last week, and then a couple of entrepreneurs asked, "Oh, dude, you can makes a lot of sense." I'm like, no, it doesn't. I'm not there. Like, more power to you if you want to party. I'm just not there to party. Like, if I'm going to travel, I want to either it's for vacation. I'm there to have good food, or I'm there to do business and then meet with some people and then get out of there, which is what Neil does 99% of the time. So
Yeah, the flight attendants or yeah, flight attendants think I'm crazy because a lot of times, I think I fly more than most flight attendants. I'm pretty sure on that, the amount of hours that I clock. And B, I see a lot of the flight attendants like multiple times. Like even on my trip to Jakarta from London, the flight attendant said, "Oh, goodbye." And I was like, "Oh, I'll probably see you tomorrow." And they're like, "You're leaving tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah." Same with when I was in Hong Kong the other day. I left on a Monday afternoon. I think it was a United flight, like around 10, 11 a.m. Got there Tuesday, sometime their time. Wednesday, I spoke, did my meetings, and I flew right back. And I was home Wednesday night because of the time change. And the flight attendant's like, "You're on our flight again?" But that's normal. And then I was home for a few days, and then I was off on the road again.
I'm surprised you don't get sick more because this stuff really screws with your immune system.
Dude, you want to know the secret? It's changed everything in my immune system. Vitamin D drops. I'm not trying to give health advice to anyone, but Jacob, Jacob who has the
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah. I talked to him earlier this week. I'm getting some hookups on peptides. Shout out to Jacob and Abud. Abud just did the Andrew Huberman podcast.
uh-huh.
At, I'm getting some peptides. Yeah.
So Jacob ran some tests on me. We've been paying him for many, many years, and he's just like, dude, you get sick a lot? And I was like, are you asking me a question? He's like, no, you get sick a lot. And I'm like, how do you know? He's like, the vitamin, I think D level was really low in me. And he's just like, that's the number one reason we know if people get sick a lot, especially when they're traveling. He's like, you need these vitamin D drops. He doesn't sell them. He's like, just go on Amazon and buy them. Here's some few brands that you can pick from. I bought one and I've been using it for years. And I take a lot of the drops, maybe more than I need to. Again, not medical advice here. And that stopped me from getting sick, I would probably say 9 out of 10 times.
You got to be careful because I did the same. Like my vitamin D was really low, but you can also go too high on it too. Because so you gotta do your blood draws. But I will say to your point, Neil, I was low on vitamin D maybe 3 4 years ago. I haven't really been sick for 3 4 years. So there's a trend there. Not health advice, guys, but it's just what worked for us. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow.